and foremost, hi, my name's Kane. I do a lot of work with the offshore team that does a lot of the booking. So this is the first of a 3-workshop series, and the moment the customer walks through the door, meeting, greeting, building rapport, to when they come into the treatment room, how you can better manage that treatment overall, to the point where in workshop 3 we'll talk about how you can almost guarantee rebooking, upselling, cross-selling, how easy that process is and how much easier you can make that on yourself just from a few simple tools you can use throughout that process. When I say how do we get better, what is the first thing that comes to mind? How do we get better as therapists? Anyone?
Education.
Yeah, education. What else?
Experience.
This is like what we want to do here in the next 3 weeks is give you guys the tools to success, okay? Because one of the first things which I'm really passionate about is understanding people, okay? If you take away what we're doing, really, this is just a people business, isn't it? So the relationships we have with people ensures a more successful outcome for them. They walk away saying, oh my God, Joe at Nature's Energy is the best massage I've ever had in my life. And straight away, that person always wants to go to Joe. And talk about these workshops. So the next 3 weeks, really, if I break down these 3 workshops, workshop 1, we're talking about first impressions and building rapport, okay? Has anyone heard of fight or flight response before? Right, familiar with that? Okay, do you know humans judge another human within 7 seconds of seeing them? 7 seconds. Every single one of you, the moment you laid eyes on me today, you would have called judgment on me in 7 seconds. Wow, mind-blowing, right? So this creates an opportunity to take control of those 7 seconds, okay? And to create a positive image of nature's energy and ourselves. Right, don't get scared by the 7 seconds, okay? I'm going to show you guys how to take advantage of it. The first one is that. First impressions, building rapport, the value we can add from the moment we see someone. The second workshop is optimizing that customer treatment experience, okay? Because again, we have so many different personality types. We have extroverted, introverted, we have people that want to tell you about the weather and what they did on the weekend. We have people who are like, please shut up, don't talk to me, right? That's what humans are like, all right? So how to optimize that experience. And workshop 3 is around product upselling, okay, and how you can upsell. Does everyone know the difference, or does anyone know the difference between upselling and cross-selling? So cross-selling, what we're trying to do there is if someone comes in for a massage and you start talking about their skin routine, all of a sudden you move them to buying a facial, purchasing a facial, either straight off the back or in 2 weeks' time, or bathhouse experience. Whereas the upselling, it might be, you know what, you're giving them a facial, you say, you know what, your skin is a little dehydrated today. What I would recommend, if this was my face, would be X, Y, and Z, and that's the upsell, okay? What I'll talk to you guys in a moment about is people put trust in your hands, okay? When you build that rapport and you have that trust, it's very easy to cross-sell and upsell. Okay, so let's reflect for a moment. So really, as I said to you today, we're going to begin this series that just focuses on not only our technical expertise, but really that full client experience. Okay, what I've got up here is really, you're not just therapists. Okay, don't see yourself just as a therapist. I want you to see yourself as a guide to relaxation, wellness, and self-care. Okay, you're taking someone through this journey, all right? So if I was to draw a circle over here on the whiteboard, right? I said, there's you and there's Nature's Energy. Right? Obviously, someone does their research to find out, for example, they may be local and they live local to Glebe, and they're like, oh, I'd love to get a massage or a facial local to Glebe. Okay, so obviously they've done their research and they see Nature's Energy. Of that 100%, what percentage, once they walk out the door, is you versus Nature's Energy? What percentage do you think? When they walk out, the percentage chance of them rebooking or coming back, does it come down to Nature's Energy or does it come down to you?
I think it would be like 80% you.
What did you say?
I think it would be like 80% you.
Spot on. Research they do to start with brings them to Nature's Energy, but the rebooking, the cross-selling, the upselling is you. Okay, so you are the brand, Right? You are the personal brand. Take more consideration to who you are and what you actually deliver as a person. All right? This shouldn't scare people. This should excite you guys, right? Because this creates an opportunity. Because when we start to in workshop 3 talk about additional commissions and some KPIs and getting more money in your pocket at the end of the day, which everyone feels is great, right? This creates so much opportunity if you manage the whole customer experience well. So you are the brand, okay? And it's exactly the same reason as we spoke about the reason why some people have a hairdresser 5, 10, 15, 25 years, right? It's very, very common for people to keep coming back to the same person. So I think the takeaway from this is that every interaction reflects your personal brand. That first 7 seconds when you meet and greet, talking to them, saying hello, taking them up to the room, talking about their day. Some people might be super stressed out, and we'll talk about these different types of personality types, and they just don't want to talk. So being able to mirror and match that personality type is really important, okay? Question we're going to talk about. Has everyone here been to have a massage before or had their own facial experience? Not necessarily at Nature's Energy, but just had it at some point, yeah? Question for you, what makes you feel welcome when you walk into a day spa?
A smile.
Smile.
Honestly,
Yeah.
smile.
Like welcoming.
Yep.
It's personal, that they use your name, that they know.
Good. Personal touch. Yeah. If you, for example, called and you made a booking for the weekend and you spoke to someone on the phone and said, you know what, I'm making this booking because I've got really low back pain. I'm a corporate, I work in an office and I've got low back pain. And that person greets you at the door and says, I heard about your lower back. How's that feeling today? How would that make you feel? It comes back to that personal touch, right? That personal touch. What's the most beautiful word in the world to everyone?
Their name.
Their name. Just taking those personal little touches becomes critical. What else? Anything else? Think outside the box a little bit more.
Environment.
The environment. Great. Tell me a bit more about what do you mean about that?
You know, I think like walking in, especially in like a massage or day spa type setting, you know, having like candles or like dim lights, just something to kind of like match that relaxing energy.
Right. It's the senses, right? And what did you say? Ambience, right? The smell, the touch, the feeling. That we want to ensure that when people walk through the doors, it's like they've left the stresses of the world outside of the footpath. When we smile and when we welcome them and we have that personal touch and we create that environment, with no doubt in the world, I'm sure many of you, if you haven't already done so, you will put yourself in a situation where someone will be a busy person that's stressed and they're just walking in, they're just like, okay, let's just go, or they're late for their appointment, they're 10 minutes late and they're stressed. If you mirror and match them and say, oh, quick, we're late, quick, come upstairs, let's go. It's not welcoming, is it? So we're just trying to bring their heart rate down, the stress and the pressure, so they walk out thinking, wow, that's almost like a meditative experience. When I started working with Nature's Energy, I did a lot of research and I saw all these awards plastered all over the website and some of these screenshots of it as well. What this creates also for you guys, you are working with a premium brand. We are working with a premium brand, so let's give people that premium experience. What I'll introduce you guys to today is how to read someone in 7 seconds. Why is that important? We want to be on their level. Okay, we need to be on the same page throughout. Because you know what? It makes the experience beautiful for them, but also beautiful for you. When you can meet someone in the middle and you sit on that same page, it doesn't feel like work. You actually really enjoy the experience and so do they. Okay? The perfect meet and greet. So again, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about what's worked for you in your past, what's worked for you. If any of you worked in retail before, what's worked, okay? There is a sort of an 80 to 90% formula, but again, it depends on the person, right? If you get a busy corporate, again, you can read someone. If you get someone coming in here in a suit, rush 10 minutes late, well, you can read them straight away. How do you just relax them, bring them down? Okay, if you get someone that comes in here just swoops in 10 minutes early and has a little bit of a browse, you know they're relaxed and they're ready to engage straight away. Okay, so we'll talk about that perfect meet and greet. We'll talk about building rapport quickly. Okay, so there's a couple of key things you can do to get on someone's level, okay, to better understand them and build that rapport. We'll do a bit of role play, okay? That's how we learn best, all right? Just trying it on each other and working through some of those scenarios. We'll talk a little bit more about what works and what doesn't as well, and to flag that. We'll talk about personal action planning, even though we're talking about what works as a whole, to actually go out and implement that out there in a room. We won't all be together when we're doing a treatment on someone, right? So we'll talk about what you can do in your work to be more efficient in that process, all right? So 7 seconds, all right? That scares a lot of people. But you know what? We can use this to our advantage. First impressions are formed in 7 seconds, and that moment can't be redone. What I want to teach you now will allow you to identify a personality type within that 7 seconds. Has anyone heard of DISC before? D-I-S-C, DISC. Okay. What DISC is a personality profiling tool. All right, and what it basically identifies that every single person in this world on the globe falls into one of these personality types, D, I, S, or C. Okay, this is the #1 behavioral analysis tool in the world, right? 20.5 million people downloaded this in the last 12 months alone. Okay, you can, if you write that down, you can do this test online yourself. It's 12 questions, that's all it is. And the reason why I love DISC is it's very simple, it's very easy, all right? Why is it important to know someone's personality profile in our role? Yes, if we can better connect, we can better communicate, we can build better rapport, and as a result of that, better customer outcomes, which results in cross-sellings, rebookings. Life's more enjoyable, right? In a couple of moments' time, I'm going to ask you all 2 questions. And within 2 questions, I'll be able to identify every single one of your discs. Okay, with just 2 questions, all right? The reason why this stuff is critical is we all fall into one of these boxes. Yes, we can be a little bit D and a bit higher on the I, a little bit S and a little bit C, so you can be across multiple, but one of these will stand out for you, okay? Now, the reason why I'm teaching you this is because we all fall into one of these boxes. If we don't understand this, we will only ever truly connect with 25% of the population. Okay? So, for example, if none of us had ever met before, right, and Nature's Energies just put us in the bathhouse together, naturally you would see, as humans, we start to move closer to the people that are just like us. Here's the 2 questions I'm going to ask you, all right? I just want your first answer. Don't overthink this, right? Just don't overthink this, okay? So we all go to a massage conference today, okay? All of us, we go down on Darling Harbour. The massage conference is 9 to 5, so it's a big day, 9 to 5. It comes to 5 o'clock, and on the loudspeaker, someone says, okay, thanks so much for coming today. There's a networking event which will go for the next hour and a half. You're most welcome to stay. It's going to be on the floor of the exhibition space. Or you have that option to stay for the networking event, or you can go home because it's the end of the day. Put your hand up after 8 hours if you stay for the networking event. Okay, everyone with their hand up, I want you to come on this side of the room. Swap seats. We're swapping seats, guys. Anyone that didn't have their hand up, this side of the room. Next question. Say, for example, so it's just draw a line right there, yeah? People that had their hand up. The next question is, if I said to you, I'm an investor and I've come into this brand new serum which is like the elixir of life. I'm a chemist, I've created this serum which is the elixir of life. Okay? I've come to you and said, I would love to share how much money you're going to make from this. Like you guys, you're massage therapists, you do facials. This is a brand new product, you're going to make so much money from this. And I said, there's 2 ways I can talk to you about this product. One, I can just send you the email and all the information and you can digest it and then give me a call. Or two, I can take you out for lunch, we can chat about it a little bit over lunch, have a nice lunch, and then we can talk about it a little bit later. Put your hand up if you just want the email up front. Give me the information. Here are our Ds. This group of 5 are our D personality types. We have our I's just here. I personality type, which is our social butterflies. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes? So we've got our S personality type and our C personality type. Let me show you what I mean by this. Alright? So, I'm going to talk this through. Okay, I'm going to talk this through. So we have our dominant personality type. Alright? We have our influential social butterflies. Over here, we have our S personality type here, and we have our compliant personality type. Okay, so let me break this down for you. So we have, we've got active and reflective, all right? So this will be quite funny because this is our positive attributes and these are our constraints, all right? So we're gonna have a bit of a laugh with this. This is the extroverted personality type and introverted. Okay, so our group over here, our D's and I's, are more active. They're extroverted they're out there. Whereas our S's and our C's are more reflective in life. They don't put themselves out there. A really important thing to be aware of as well. We tend to change home versus work. Right? Depending on who your partner is at home, your family situation, whoever is at home, you might be high down here, but then all of a sudden you come to work, you've got to be up here. You need to make moves, make calls. Okay, so when I'm putting you in a bucket, if you like, don't be offended or anything like that. This is just a bit of a down and dirty way to show you that there's these 4 personality types. All right. So the D's, they're direct. They're just task focused. All right. You want to get stuff done. Is that fair? You like to get stuff done. For example, chores at home. You know, I got to do this, I got to do that. On to the next. I just get stuff done. Right? Are our social butterflies? They're influential, like socialize thing. Yeah, let's catch up for a coffee. How many times do you guys say let's catch up for a coffee when you see a friend? All the time. Because you're over here asking someone that's a C personality type that doesn't necessarily want to have a coffee. They're happy to hang out, but they just don't want to have a coffee, right? Okay. We've got our S, our steady personality types. Okay. That they're more people focused, so they like to be social butterflies and talk. However, they're not as outgoing as what our D's and I's are. Okay, and then we've got our C's, our compliant personality types. They're probably a little bit quieter, however, they're very reflective and just read the room. They like to read the room. Okay, so even this is a fun way for us to identify our own personalities. What I'm trying to say is for the D's, if we just keep acting in this quadrant, we just don't get to know our I's, S's and C's. At the end of the day, we come back into our box. Okay, so yes, you might be high in D and you might have some attributes of I, S and C. Absolutely you do. But generally, you are more dominant in one of these. Okay, and the reason, as I said to you, that we're going through this personality type is so we can better understand and be able to read people. For example, for someone that's more task focused and people focused, if I'm a therapist and I came across to the D's or the C's and I got chatty, how's the weather? How was your weekend? What's been happening? Tell me what you're planning to do for Christmas. They're like, whoa, too much. Like really, do you know what I mean? When you're really forthcoming. Whereas if I said this to the I's and the S's, oh, tell me about your life. How was your weekend? What are you doing next weekend? Do you get away in winter? They love that. Right? They're social butterflies. Okay, so it's better understanding people creates better outcomes. So here's how we read people the moment we meet them. All right? Basically what we're trying to identify is someone more assertive or less assertive, and are they people versus task orientated? Bless you. Okay, for myself, who would say that I'm more assertive? Hand up. Am I more assertive or less assertive? Hand up for more assertive. Yeah, am I more assertive? What is it?
You seem very confident, outspoken.
Great. Anything else? Use my hands a lot, right? I'm very much using my hands. Yeah, I have strong body language. Okay. Sorry?
The tone.
Tone, yep, absolutely. So do you think if I was to walk into a room, or I just come into Nature's Energy, walked in the front, and I was just like walking quite quickly, is that more assertive or less assertive? More assertive, absolutely. Versus if I open the door and then I softly close the door and then I look around, not sure who to talk to or where to go. What is that? Less assertive. Absolutely. So you can work this out very quickly. Eye contact as well. If I'm looking at you, looking at your eyes, it's obviously more assertive. If I'm sort of like this, you're sort of a bit less assertive, a bit more reflective. Okay, the most important thing I'll tell you about DISC is there's no perfect personality. Right? The D's aren't better than an I's and S's aren't better than a C's. We actually, for a beautiful, harmonious working environment, we actually need all. And we do have all in this room, which is a great thing. Okay? And then people versus task. What's the easiest way you can identify whether someone's people orientated or task orientated in your role?
How their day's going.
How their day's going, what did they do on the weekend, what do they think about this cold weather, anything where it's small talk, any type of small talk. If they're people orientated, they'll chat and chat and chat. Oh, it was great, I've done this morning, I've been mad, I had a great coffee, it was so nice, how was your day? Straight away into it. Versus someone that's sort of task orientated, if you say, how's your day been, what have you been up to this morning? Oh, it's been fine. Okay, no problem at all, I understand where you're at. Right, so it's really, really easy within that first 7 seconds, based on body language and how they come into the Nature's Energy Spa. And the first question, you can identify whether they're more assertive, less assertive, and identify whether they want to be a talker, whether throughout the experience they want to tell you about their day and products they've used in the past, or whether they just want pure silence and that background. Is the best way to look at it, all right? The important thing to take away from this, if you do have a phone, take a photo of this, because this is a really, really valuable slide. The most important takeaway is that you are more dominant in one of the types. Okay, yes, you can be quite flat and you can be a little bit of I, a little bit of C, a little bit of S, but you're more dominant in one of them, whether it's D, I, S, or C. Okay, so really what this is a summary about how to better manage the conversation and building that rapport with the people. For example, if I'm chatting with the Ds, focus on the task at hand, be direct to the point, talk about the results. They say, look, I've got a really sore lower back. You know what, you're going to love the signature massage today because the result will be X, Y, and Z. It'll release that tension, it'll remove the fascia, it'll also release the fascia. Hopefully you walk out of here just feeling light. How does that sound to you? Great, thank you so much. Okay. Really logical, straight to the point. With an eye's for you guys, if you have the opportunity where you have another social butterfly come in, like for example, I'm a very high eye as well, same as you guys. If I came in here and you were doing my massage or facial, gee, we'd have a great time. We would not stop talking for an hour and a half. Right, that would irritate some people in this room, but it's a great time because you want to allow time to socialise. You want to say, how are you? How was your day? How are you managing this cold weather? And do you have any trips planned overseas over winter? Whatever that might be. They love to talk, okay? And the things for the people in here that don't like to talk so much is you just have to listen. You actually don't even have to talk because they'll just talk themselves. The S, all right? The S is these guys over here, they're the nurturers of the DISC quadrant, okay? When you take them through an experience they may not have had before, what's an experience that's the dermabrasion, for example? It's something that's quite invasive to the skin, yeah? So if you're treating someone that's an S personality type, they want just reassurance about that. Look, I've done 15 of these dermabrasions in the last 2 weeks. There's phenomenal results. Let me take you through the process. Let me step you through the process, right? They just want to know what's happening. So sharing information about what we'll be doing today, the process we'll be taking step by step, all right? And the C people are the compliant personality types. They just want the facts, right? You can't, with the I's, you can kind of sugarcoat and socialize it. If you try and be too social with the C's, you lose them very quickly. Purpose, again, of sharing this with you is to just recognize that there's 4 distinct personality types And I guarantee you within the next week or the 2 weeks or the 3 weeks that we're doing this work, you'll start to be able to identify these people really quickly. Okay, the takeaway being is when they walk in, are they more assertive, less assertive? And are they chatty or are they not? Okay, and that's how you mirror and match. I think it's what you said before. The best way to build rapport is mirror and match. So if I was going to show you this, could anyone identify, I'll talk about the clash first, and then I'll talk about the balance. If you were to identify potentially personality types that might clash, who would they be? These two don't clash and these two don't clash. Which two clash? Why?
The opposite.
Correct. Right? These people are out there, just want stuff done, make stuff happen. Whether our S are slow moving. Whoa, hold on, we're going too fast. Just take me through the process. Tell me, what will the dermabrasion do to my face? What's the downtime? Whether D's like, just tell me what the outcome will be in 2 weeks. How's my face going to look? It's going to look amazing. Right? Whereas the S wants to know, what is the process? What's the aftercare? Okay? There's one more clash. What's the other clash on here? Correct. Why?
Compliant likes like quiet.
That's what I said before about the two of you. This one likes coffees, he likes to chat all the time. And this one was just like, I just want some peace. Okay, and that's why. So what I will say is, whether you're a DIS or C, you really have to work a little bit harder when you're with someone and spending an hour or an hour and a half with an opposite personality. So your point in is there a balance is, yeah, the D's and I's generally get along pretty well because they're extroverted personality types. The D's and C's, yeah, get along pretty well because they just want to do stuff. The D's and C's, they're just like, let's just do stuff. Let's stop going for coffee. Let's just do stuff. Right? The I's and the S's get along well because they're quite social. Right? These guys are all quite social. And the S's and the C's are both reflective personality types, so they get along well. All right? So it's just, we have to work a little bit harder when we're across. Don't overthink it too much. I guess the best way, I just wanted to teach you this to understand, because you'll start to notice there's 4 very distinct personality types. But the takeaway from this is mirror and match, mirror and match. Just understand who they are and see what they're doing and the way they interact with you, and then respond accordingly. Perfect meet and greet. 7 seconds to make an impression. What do you think is critical in that first 7 seconds? Actually, you know what? Let me ask you a question. What is critical before the first 7 seconds?
Knowing a few things about these customers,
Right.
Find out what their needs for the day or what they want to do,
Yeah.
their names.
Yeah, and how can we capture that information really quickly? So the client history becomes critical also for you on the next treatment as well, because the more detailed your notes are, for example, something as simple as this client is a corporate or has a very sore lower back because they're sitting at a desk all day long or sitting in front of a computer. The simplest thing to build rapport is when you walk to see that customer the next time, oh, how's your lower back going? I know it was a bit firm last time, how does it feel now? It's like, wow, this person cares about me. They actually remember what they did on that last treatment, and they're responsive to that. Yeah. So the power of 90 seconds before you see the customer and looking through that notes or that booking, and the power of 90 seconds after the customer just to write down some notes, what they liked. They like it quite firm lower back. They complained of tenderness because they're a corporate. Just something so simple as a few dot points just builds that rapport really quickly. Okay, and 90 seconds out of your day before and after isn't a lot. All right. So what are the key elements? If we talk about what are the most important things when we lay eyes on, say it's a brand new customer, we don't have a client history, we don't have a booking form, they just called up at the last moment, they called up yesterday for an appointment today. All right. What is critical? What are the 3 or 4 things that are critical in that first 7 seconds when you walk out? Smile, absolutely. Let's talk about smile for a moment, okay? Because that can be forced, right?
I can't even smile.
That wasn't forced, that's smile. So a smile sets the tone for warmth, right? We're a warm environment, we're welcoming. It's not just, we haven't just walked into a retail shop just to get a massage or get a muscle release or a deep tissue massage, and then they're off again. We want them to walk away with like, wow, Jen at Nature's Energy in Balmain or Glebe has blown my mind. Because what does that do? It does two things. First one is a rebooking, but what's even more powerful than that? Also tell 10 other people
Recommendation.
about you and Nature's Energy. And all of a sudden, the next week, you have all these bookings of people you've never met in your life. So it fills out your schedule. And you know what a beautiful thing is? If you've got a schedule that's just the same people reoccurring, you build rapport, you build friendships, you do. Right? And you've got a customer for life. Right? So a smile creates warmth. Tone of voice is a really interesting one. Do you want to make a comment on that? Tone of voice? Tonality and how you can use tonality. So again, it comes into that whole experience when it's the whole environment. When you walk in, it's the smell, the feel, the touch, everything about it, right? And you set the tone with, I should play on words, but you set the tone with your warmth and how you speak to them and how you greet them. So the body language, we talk about body language, again, you know what, I used to work retail. I worked at a retail store, and after 7-8 hours standing up, I started to get to that point where I just can't wait to get off my feet. But then the moment a customer walks in, shoulders back, coming in, hi, it's great to see you, how's your day, come through, can I take, do you know what I mean? It's just, it's not turning it on because you have to be genuine and authentic in that approach. Language, all right? Again, when we start to do some role plays today as well, we'll talk about sort of scripts that work, okay? But the takeaway from today is not to be scripted in any way. If we get too robotic and go through this process, I have to look at the client history, I've got 90 seconds to do this, then I come, hi, how are you? Oh no, don't shake hands, stop doing that, come through. Do you know what I mean? If we think about it too much, it doesn't work either, because people can see your head working over time. Is there anything else we feel like we can improve on personally? What you might be able to do better? Okay. Here's an interesting question. Listen up to this question. If you went for a facial today, not at Nature's Energy, actually anywhere, you went for a facial today and I was doing your facial, good luck by the way, but if I was doing your facial and I was chatty, like talking to you, you've got such beautiful skin and I love your hair as well, and where'd you get that dress from? Would you say to me, excuse me, could you just be quiet?
No.
Exactly. So this is about reading the room. Identify a therapist, a customer, and an observer. So you three do that. You three do that. Who is the observer over here? Yeah. What did you like?
She was so welcoming and asked all the right questions. We also did like a bit of, I think we all kind of worked on what's the word? Correcting each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all did a bit of that. So at the end, she asked all the right questions. She was very warm, welcoming, smiling, reassured him about what he was doing because he was concerned, like, I've never had a massage, I don't know what it's going to feel like. And she
Great.
explained the process to him, so it was really good.
Yeah. So who wants to volunteer to be a therapist? I want 2 volunteers, please. 1, 2. Okay. I'm going to act as a customer for the 2 of you in 2 very, very different ways. Who'd like to go first? And you're just happen to be in the front room, right? And I'm just walking through the door. Okay, I've got my appointment somewhere.
To get up. Just be slow.
Good morning. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Can I help you? Have you got a phone
Yeah, I'm a bit late, like 5 minutes late.
Hold on.
What's your name?
Fine. George.
George. Yeah,
And
that
your
must be Kane.
Okay, lovely to meet you. Let's just have a look. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I've got to go in 45 minutes.
You've got to go
I've
in
be out,
45
so
minutes.
yeah, can we
Okay.
just get started?
That's
Or
fine. Absolutely.
Yep.
You have an appointment with me?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Excellent. Excellent. All right, let's get straight
Okay,
to
great.
it. You've been here before.
Yeah, I've been a few times. Like I get massages regularly, so yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Let me get you
Okay.
up to the room.
Yep.
And then we can
Okay.
quickly chat.
Yeah,
We
let's
can
do
get
it.
straight
Yep.
into it. Okay,
Great.
beautiful. And now you want me to?
Yep,
now
so
we're
we
in
get into the room.
Okay, excellent. Now, Kane, is there anything I need to know about your body today?
No, fine. I've just been busy. Like I train a lot and I work. I'm just flat out. So I just need a massage just to relax. Yeah.
Good. You've made it here. You're doing such a good thing for yourself. Is there anywhere that you want to work on specifically? on your body
Lower
there?
back just
Your
gets a
lower
bit, and
back
my
as well.
neck as well just gets a
Okay.
bit tight.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let me get you just down to your underwear for me, face down on the table, cover yourself with this towel, and then when I come back in, we'll get started and you can tell me if there's anything else.
Great. Okay.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Okay. That's good. So here's the thing. I was coming in highly strung. Right. Just like look at my watch. What's important, which you did really well. Okay. Because the mirror and match. You don't really want to mirror and match because everyone's too stressed and it's like you're putting so much pressure on you as a therapist. What did she do really well? Yeah, because if you mirror and match me and keep my tone and let's get you upstairs quick, let's go. Like I've been to, I've done that myself. Not that highly strung, but I've done that myself and been late to an appointment. As I'm sure many of you, and you're like, I'm late to an appointment. This is costing me $3 per minute. Let's just start, right? But that's not it. Right? It's not just starting. You actually just want to bring their stresses down a little bit and come back to, you know what, you've come to a beautiful place. It's fantastic. Her words, it's fantastic that you're doing this for yourself. Right? Because it just pulls me back. Right? I was coming in hot, looking at the time, not really caring about her and what she had to say. So I just need someone that reassured me and just calmed me down a little bit. Took my blood pressure from here to here. Let's just try one more. Role play. Ready? Okay.
Hello, do you have an appointment today?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, what was your name?
Okay.
Beautiful, let me just search it up. Amazing, my name's Lara, I'll be your therapist today.
Okay.
Yeah, so
How are
we've
you?
got you booked in for a facial today. Have you ever had a facial before?
No.
That's okay, do you want me to explain the process to you?
Yeah.
Absolutely, so what we're going to go, oh, we're in the room by the way. So what we're going to go through today is I'm just going to cleanse your skin and exfoliate. Do you have any concerns about your skin at the moment?
I'm not really sure.
That's okay, we can just keep it basic. Do you feel like your skin's dry? Do you feel like it's oily?
I think it's okay. I'm not really sure. I haven't.
Absolutely, we can keep it nice and simple for you. So what I'll get you to do is you can just lay down on the bed for me and just unwind, and yes, I'll be back in a minute when you're all ready.
Okay. Okay, great. Perfect. Well, I was trying to play that sort of real SC sort of personality type where I was so unsure and uncertain. What reassures someone like that is the step by step. I'll take you through the process. Let me walk you through that process. So it's the reassurance about that's totally fine. Because look, a lot of males have got no idea what their skin type is, whether it's dry, sensitive, oily, what, because they don't even use a moisturizer, right? Just making them feel comfortable and okay with that whole process, that you'll talk them through it step by step. Let's get you on the bed and then I'll take you through that. How does that sound to you, right? One of the best questions any of you can use throughout a treatment, whether it's a D personality, an I, an S or C, is when you say something, after saying something, how does that sound to you? Because it gets their confirmation that what you're doing is great, it's okay. Right, so how about we just get you on the bed and then we can have a look at your skin type and we can go from there. How does that sound to you? That sounds great. It just settles me. So, building rapport quickly. Okay, how do we build rapport quickly? Right, so we've only just got to the meet and greet. We've just got to the first 10 seconds of just getting them up the stairs and into the room. How do we build rapport? Time, but the rapport is built by energy matching them. Okay, so please feel free to jump in, but I don't need to point you out. But if someone that's a compliant personality type, the rapport is built by respecting their space. That creates trust.
How can I make sure that I'm everyone's therapist?
Yeah, great question. You'll never be everyone's therapist.
Yeah, that's
And
you'll find your people.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely
Right, okay.
right. And you know what? You'll find your people, and the people that find you will also be for example, if I came to you and we were chatting the whole time, it's great.
Yeah.
And I would walk away and say, wow, that was an amazing experience, because all of my friends are also eyes.
Yeah.
So I tell all my eyes, and then all the eyes are coming to you. Right? Whereas the C's come to you. So naturally we gravitate to our people. Yeah.
It's the energy match.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Really, when we talk about how we're building rapport, we're looking about these four behaviours. So energy matching is obviously the mirror and matching. Okay. Empathetic, I think you mentioned it before. Empathy.
Mine was personalization.
Personalisation, personal touch. Yeah. Someone mentioned empathy. I think it was you at the back. Yeah. Mentioned empathy. Being more empathetic. So repeating and reflecting. So empathetic listening is also talking about things like, oh, I noticed on your last time you were here, you may not have seen me, you saw Joe over at Balmain, however I noticed that you had a sore lower back. How is that today for you? Wow, these guys know what they're doing. I'm going to a different place and they're sharing information. My trust straight up. Okay, empathetic, personal touch as well. So using their name, recalling their last visit, what's happened to them, the littlest things that they tell you. For example, if I come in for a massage today and I say to you, like I'm high ice, I'm talking, and I say I'm going on holidays, I'm going over to Europe to see my brother and his new son that I haven't seen. The 90 seconds afterwards, you just say, client going on holiday to see his brother, one line. I come back in, you say, how was your brother? Did you meet his new son? Whoa, you know more about me than my own friends, okay? Avoid oversharing. Now this again sometimes gets hard because we start to build a friendship, right? Rapport creates friendship, which creates these people just coming back to you as well. But if we start talking about things like politics, you can lose someone really quickly, right? Building rapport, right? It could be, you know, if someone comes in for their first time, as simple as, oh, can you tell me why you decided I'm coming in for a treatment today? Something as simple as that. Okay, it's more so something more specific rather than saying, how can I help you? Because how can I help you is big and broad. Why did you decide on coming through a treatment today? Oh, my neck hurts so much. I've been sitting at a computer. All right, okay, so we've actually got you booked in for the signature massage today. Maybe what sort of firmness would you like as a result of that? Well, might just like it a little bit soft. If you're able to recommend or prescribe, look, I can feel that you're quite tight through your neck. Maybe if we're a little bit firmer on the massage and we just see how that feels, does that sound okay to you? Great, absolutely. Okay, so you have this open line of communication with them about how they would like that experience, all right? It can be difficult if you're talking to someone or you're about to start a treatment with someone that doesn't really want to talk to you. There's obviously a few things we have to talk about, which is allergies, pressure, what else? Injuries, yeah. Medication. Let's say, for example, that I was coming in and you were my customer, the therapist, right? And say, for example, I looked at the treatment booking form and there's nothing. Right? There's absolutely nothing. I'm like, oh, this is going to be hard to build rapport. If I was coming to see someone like you, what I'd say is, look, I've got a few notes I would actually say to you, look, I've got a few notes about your treatment today, but would you mind if I just ask a few more questions just to better understand you? Okay, I might have nothing, but at least that kind of, I'm just saying to them, look, I've got a few notes about what you're like in your treatment, but can I ask a few specific questions? Yeah, so you can have a great treatment experience today. How does that sound? They're never going to say no to that as well. A really interesting one, which you do quite well, is when I was coming in really hot for that role play, is the moment someone lies on the bed, that's kind of the moment, the turning point where they're like, okay, I'm into relaxation mode now. So is it better to ask the questions before they get on the bed or once they're on the bed? Absolutely. So that's the reason why I asked the question. It varies. It varies depending on the person. Look, naturally for most people, I would have said before, absolutely. So it's good to ask the questions, then they can lie down, relax. But if someone is running 100 miles an hour, the way to relax them is to get them on the bed.
Yeah, we'll do it later.
So again, we can talk about the best way, you should do it this way and that way, but you read the room. Okay, and you personalise that experience. I never want you to walk away from these 3 workshops and say, oh, they said I've got to do it like this, this and this, because that's not it. You're going to personalise the experience based on yourself and also that customer that you meet on the day. Okay, because it could go either way, right? What I want you to do is just in your 3s, okay, and in your 2 as well, talk about ways in which we can build rapport quickly. What you feel like the best ways are to build rapport. Building rapport quickly. What did we come up with as a group, the best ways to build rapport quickly?
I kind of approach it with the service that they've booked with.
Yeah.
So today you've booked in
Great.
remedial.
Yep, yep. And what was the reason why you selected that? Okay. And then what would you say after that?
What are you looking to get out of what's your goal?
Yeah. What are you hoping to achieve? In an ideal world, when you walk out of here in 90 minutes, how would you like to feel? Yeah. And then they start opening up about this muscle aches or neck ache and this sort of thing. Okay, so understand the why.
Undivided attention. You're listening. You know.
Making sure that they feel
Undivided
heard.
attention. That is a great one. I'm committed to you for the next 90 minutes, 120 minutes. It's just me and you. Absolutely. I love that one. Yep. Anything else?
Oh, safety, making sure they feel safe.
Right. Safe space. And that is, you know what, whatever personality they are, everyone, humans thrive off a safe space, knowing that you're safe. I'm in a comfort zone, I'm safe here. Yep, I'm in this room and there's nowhere else I need to be but here. I'll be present. Everything we build here delivers trust.
Beautiful.
Yeah? This group?
It's like listening to the client, understanding what they're wanting to achieve out of the treatment, and that way you can cross-sell, and that way when you're cross-selling or upselling, they feel like you've got their best interest at heart.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So active listening,
Yeah.
one of the most horrible things that I'm sure you all would agree on is when you walk into a retail store and you're just looking at some clothes. Can I help you with anything? Oh, that would look great on you. Do you want me to show you what's on sale today? Or how about I get the right size for you? It's like, whoa, I just walked into the shop. Like, you're not even responding to who I am, how I want to. You don't even know me as a person or a personality style, and you are just trying to sell. Right? Without all of this rapport building, you don't build trust, so you can't do a cross-sell or an upsell or anything like that. So you've got to follow the process. There's a process to build rapport. Good one, okay? Who knows the difference between a client and a customer? What's the difference? Can anyone tell me? A customer is a recurring client. A client is a one-off. Just I set and forget. If I'm a client, I come in and we're talking about in the retail world, okay? Because I know a lot of hairdressers and say, oh, these are my clients, this sort of thing. But a customer is a recurring client, all right? So what we're trying to do with this rapport is turn every client into a customer. They just keep coming back.
Oh, I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A recurring customer is someone that proactively wants to keep coming back.
I think we call them regulars.
Regulars? Yeah, you might have another name for them, absolutely. But really the work that I'm doing with the offshore team as well is we want to constantly be providing so much phenomenal customer service for them to want to come back. But there's only 50% of the work that the offshore team can do on the phone, and the other 50% is you guys.